Hey guys, welcome to my channel, What's in the Brew? And today we're going to be talking about the Crow Conjuring. So on our Instagram, we did a little question sticker where we basically advertised, a free little mini reading in exchange for you guys listening to our podcast. And an even deeper way to get the larger scale message I thought out would be I'm going to post my portion of the reading on the podcast and my YouTube. However, there's a catch, because it's just my portion. And myself and the creator of the Crow Conjuring, Miss Nancy Hess, and I'll link her Instagram down below. You guys can go follow her. If you want to check out the Crow Conjuring, you can. She will have her rest of the reading on the actual podcast. So I'm the only one kind of like splitting up my readings. But that's just because I thought people would really enjoy this, because I think a lot of people can take different pieces of a reading, even if it's not meant for them, and it can be meant for them in some way, if that makes sense. But I wanted to introduce what the Crow Conjuring was before I dive into these readings. So the Crow Conjuring is our alternative subscription website where we do 3 to 4 live sessions a month. 99% of the time it's 3 sessions a month that we do. And these can be meditations. Last night we actually did a really good workshop where our clients got to ask questions and give feedback on how they were feeling, and we shared our reflections. And there are limited release items that are small curated things that can be personalized readings, or just little things that we have in our own individual shops. That I'll link in the show notes that you can check out, that are just for our clients up to a certain period, and then they go out to the general public, and if anybody wants to buy them, they can buy them. We have a workbook that we do, we have an oracle scope that we do, and we also have a tarot cast for our zodiac signs that we do every month. Lots of juicy information, and sometimes Miss Nancy gets fancy. And she does a energy forecast, and you get to hear what the energy of the dead are saying around you, and that's really cool too. So that is the website, and for our Instagram, we just ask people to fill out the question sticker, and we would do a mini reading. So I'm going to dive into the mini readings that I chose to do, and you'll be able to listen to them here and on the podcast, and I will link the podcast in our show notes description as well. You can just go down there. And please remember, before I get started, to like and subscribe this YouTube channel. That would be really awesome. And whenever I post other readings or other videos, you'll be able to get to keep up with us and all happenings. I want this channel to be mine, but I also want to be, updating about TCC, because it's just as important to me. Anyway, maybe not to y'all, but it is to me. So let's dive into it. I have all of your questions right here. Who did I want to start with? Google Sticky Notes are where it's at, you guys. All right, so let's start. Okay. Where's our question? I gotta dig. So the first question is, I work swing shifts and the opportunity to go to days is coming up. Should I? So first of all, if you are the person that asked that question, I want you to take a nice deep breath in and just kind of relax and get ready to be opening to receiving. I can't make this card pull up if I tried. We are using the Rebel deck today, and we're also using postcards from Liminal Space. pulling 2 cards for everybody that I read. I can't say that Nancy will do the same whenever you go listen to hers, but you will be getting a card pull. So, okay. So we got some really good cards. So you want to know basically if switching up your shifts should be for you. First of all, I feel like if you're even asking about the change, it's because you've called it in yourself. You've called in that opportunity to switch some shit up, and it's time to, and that's okay. But you kind of have to be like careful what you wish for, because the grass is not always greener on the other side. It's not. So it's what you're calling, to me, feels like more of a double-edged sword. You don't really know if you should do it, but it's kind of like, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. And I need some type of change, so why not try this instead of just completely scrapping and moving forward? So the cards that you pulled are from the Rebel deck and postcards from Liminal Space. Your first card, and I shit you not, this is how we know spirit exists, guys. This is how we know the universe and signs that everything is connected. Whenever we ask for something and we call it in really strongly, like it's coming to you for a reason. So the first card you pulled is shit is going down with your job. Shit is going down for your job. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking about it. Reevaluate, change your perspective, or fucking quit. So that might be a deeper question that you need to ask yourself later on down the line. I feel like you have a multi-step process and you kind of have a plan. Like, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to try this. If this doesn't work out and I get blocked here, then I'm going to try this. You don't really want to quit right now. You like that there's money coming in. I feel like this is a steady job and it's a steady paycheck. But you're not 100% if this is for you, and you're not 100%. Like, you don't really know if, one, you're going to be able to make it, and two, if this is where you're supposed to be, like, you're not 100% happy. So your postcard says, come back down to earth. Come back down to earth, and that's your card for that. So I would just encourage you to, whatever route you decide, I'm never going to tell anybody, FYI, I'm never going to tell anyone to quit or change their job. That has to be up to you. You have freedom of choice. I think you want change of pace. If I were you, because I'm a night person, I did okay on second shift. I feel like you're not an overnight type of gal, but I think you'll be fine on second. If that's an option for you. They're saying ultimately you need to be on second shift. So I would consider second shift if I were you, if you're going to make that type of change. Because you still need some type of balance and some type of sleep. And I feel like this come back down to earth card, somebody has grabbed you and given you like all the benefits of what switching shifts is going to be like. And you have like a little bit of an unrealistic idea of how that's going to work for your body and your lifestyle and your inner environment, because everybody is different. Everybody is different. Everybody responds to that type of change differently. Some people can handle it and it's like a dream, and some people can't. So I would definitely evaluate if the money is correct. I would definitely evaluate if it's going to be okay for you in your life, because ultimately, no matter how much money you're getting paid, if you're not happy, if you don't have a balance, then it's not really worth it to stay there if you've changed 20 different shifts. It's not going to be helpful for you. You have to find what is going to make you happy and what's going to make you feel the most fulfilled in a way. So that is for you. Let's go to the next question. Let's see. Oh, I need to put a little check mark on you. You guys aren't like seeing me do these in real time. going to be a completely unedited video, by the way. That's how I do most of mine. Okay, so this is a fairly common question that I get. What is my major block right now? What is my major block right now? I feel like whenever people ask this question, first of all, you already know what your major block is. You just want some confirmation. You just want to know what I have to say. And that's okay. So typically whenever half the deck just falls like that, you have a lot you need to work on, or I just need to work with this part of the deck. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna work with this part of the deck. They're telling me to bring up dream work. I feel like dream work is a major thing for you that you also need to work on. And journaling and writing things down, just like are my first impressions that I'm getting for you. So let's look at the cards that you got. So your Rebel deck card is shame, regret, and guilt. Those are just bullshit. Forgive, let that shit go. So that's your first card right there. And this is the back of it. So I would definitely feel like your major block whenever looking at your cards and like looking, or like my first impressions were like dream work and journaling and stuff. You really need to focus in on like writing down your inner feelings and how you're like processing your day to day, because you might feel like initially you've had a great day and nothing's been wrong and everything's been hunky-dory and fine with you, but you're sitting there going, something's missing. What's missing? What am I supposed to be doing? And if you keep having that feeling coming up, I would definitely suggest that you are ignoring a deeper part of yourself that needs to be addressed, that needs to be healed. And you can find this out a variety of ways. You can find it out through doing meditations. You can find it out through looking through old journals. Or I would heavily suggest like past life regression, they're saying for you, would definitely help. And something in between like childhood trauma and feeling that out. I really feel like you already know what's missing. You just don't want to put your finger on it because it's a really hot button sensitive issue. And you're just kind of like, if I can do anything but that, I will do it. And that's great. But, like, that's not going to ever really leave you completely fulfilled either. Like, you've done all the work you need to do. And no matter what anybody says, we can never master this life. There's always deeper healing to do. There's always going to be work to do. And the reason that is because we wouldn't have chosen to reincarnate and be a part of this life as living, breathing human beings if we could just master this life with a few sessions, a few meditations, a few past life regressions. You've lived numerous past lives, you've experienced numerous different traumas in different ways, and sometimes there are repeating patterns there that really need to be addressed. Is anything ever fully healed? I don't know. Do we ever fully heal from our first heartbreak, our first breakup? Like, no, because all of our issues with our next person stem from somewhere. So that's kind of why I have that like that attitude. Like, you kind of already know. It's just a really heart chakra sensitive issue. So the next one you got is the postcards card. It says a magician is only as good as their tools. And I think this is a really important card for you because you're talking about, well, where am I blocked? Well, what have you tried? Have you tried to dig around and really see what you're feeling? You don't really need me to tell you where you feel blocked because I feel like you feel most uncomfortable in your heart space. I'm telling you where you feel most blocked right now, in case you're wondering. However, that is also up to you to discover, because I do my best work when people aren't telling me what to do. I do my best me healing work when I am diving deep and I don't really know what's going to come up. But then I look at it later and I'm like, damn, this makes sense now. Like, no wonder I don't feel comfortable in small spaces, because, you know, in a past life I was drowned in a small space. Or, you know, I had these same fights with these same people because it started this way and I've never resolved it. I need to bring that piece of my soul back through, you know, a spiritual soul retrieval. Like, just different things, acknowledging prayer, doing your journal, working on yourself is a constant process. Not that you always have to look for something that's wrong with you. I would not suggest that. That's kind of exhausting and it's kind of depressing. But if you're feeling like you need to ask where your blocks are, you already know, you're just too scared to look. Sorry. Sorry, but I'm really not sorry. Okay, I'm gonna do one more, and then we are going to wrap it up. Let's see, what else do I want to do? Okay. So the next question is, how do I rest my questioning brain in regards to my path? That's really interesting, and they're telling me you need another deck. So hold on one second. You're gonna come with me. And we're gonna get a different deck for you. What do you need? You need the moon deck. So you're needing this one. So we're gonna come over here. So the question was, how do I rest my questioning brain in regards to my path? I like that question. So I have a couple of questions from that. The first one is, it's healthy to question your path. It's extremely healthy. You should always be challenging yourself. You should always be wanting to do more, dive more, and kind of like be more. I don't think you're trying hard enough. I think you're giving it the college try, not the 100% I can do this try, because you're not 100% confident in what you want to do. I definitely see a career move happening. I definitely see that you have a lot of fancy ideas, but not a good execution going on with what is happening. And I think this is related to a spiritual path, and I think this is related to a real life physical world path. Like, am I in the career for me? Am I doing that? Like, you have questions about everything. Like, it's almost like you are such a confident, like, put together person, but you're questioning where you are. Like a midlife, but not a midlife crisis. So the three cards I got for you, because you needed to have three, were the Moonology deck cards. I love this. I love this deck. We just went through a really great full moon from Libra to Scorpio, so you might be feeling a little like some type of way about a lot of shit, and that's okay. We just went through some intense emotional swings, so that's fine. So the first moon card you got was Prosperity Lies Ahead. New moon in Taurus. So I think emotionally you're going to start to feel like better about this around the time of the new moon. So look for where the new moon is going to be landing in May, and I think you're going to feel more directed as to where you want to go. However, It's going to take you having a little bit of courage about your situation. I feel like you want to try all the things because you don't know what's the best for you, especially in your spiritual path. And let me just tell you, there's nothing wrong with that. I personally read tarot cards, oracle cards. I do some Akashic records. Like, I do many different styles of reading. I read energies. I talk to dead people. Like, all of that is a form of divination. But what you're really using is your energy to tap into someone else or something else. That's all it is. All these are, they're tools. They're tools that I'm using to help me deepen my connection to you. And I think that's what you need to understand. Like, it's not oh, I'm just an oracle card reader. Oh, I'm just a tarot card reader. When you're doing like spiritual work, it's not just the cards, it's you. And you can do as many different ways and as many different things that you want. You can do it. You just have to be, they're telling me to use the word strong-willed, but I don't really agree with that. You have to be strong-willed enough to want to go there. Because each time you learn like a different divination technique, it can be a little scary. So yeah, try not to doubt yourself. And if you want to try more than one thing, then do it. There's no harm in that. You don't have to be this or that. And I think you have that impression that you have to be one way or the other, and you don't. So the next one is be bold and make the first move. So that's your next card. And I feel like that is where you need to have like some definite plans, and you need to not just live like in your head, but you need to have a strategy to execute what you want to do. It's great to have all these ideas and plans and all these interests, but until you try one, your frustration is not going to go away. And if you're just reading for yourself, then and you're not feeling like fulfilled, or you feel like even more confused as to where you're supposed to be going, then guess what? Maybe it's time to branch out and read for somebody else. Even like, you don't have to do it professionally. It can just be like, I just need to see if I can get the confidence to feel like I know what I'm doing. So the third card you got is a postcards card, and it says yield to reality. And this goes along well with this one, or not this one, this one, whoopsie. This one, where I'm telling you need to have like a solid plan on execution about where you want to go. And it can be reading for others. If you're trying to like figure out like, fuck, I need to switch up my job. Right now is a lot of heavy energy around that. A lot of heavy energy around that. So my best suggestion to you is pay attention to what is happening in your current field, how things are being changed up. Be ready to learn new things. Be open to learning new things. And make sure you're keeping all your resume up to date if you need to. And that you have like some real world experience. If you can freelance any of your career abilities, or not abilities, but skills that you use in your workplace, I would say now would be the time to do that, to like make a little side cash, because people are looking for that. And I would just steady add it to your resume. I don't think it's going to be like a huge change right now. I don't really foresee that happening until later on in the year, maybe next year. But I hope that helps. So that is going to end my portion of the Crow Conjuring Instagram readings. So this was really fun. I hope you guys enjoy this. Remember, if I didn't read for you, that means Nancy is going to read for you, and you have to go to the podcast, which I will link in the little notes description below this YouTube video, and you can listen to the whole thing. The podcast is called Create Your Own Damn Magic. And if you would like to book a reading with me or anything, I will leave my inquiry information down below, and please like and subscribe this video so you can keep up with us and all Crow Conjuring updates and Witches Brew updates. I hope you guys have a great day, and it was wonderful to read for y'all today.